So, for this podcast, I want to share with you 5 steps to developing your intuition. And this is based on all of the experience that I've had, not only with my own intuition, but helping people develop theirs, helping my clients, and what I've seen works. So, there are 5 steps. The first step is tuning into your body and taking care of your body. The second is listening to your body's wisdom. The third is quieting your mind. The fourth is honing your intuition by practicing. And the fifth is releasing control. So I'm going to go into each one of them a little bit more in depth. So the first one is about taking care of this vessel, this body that we have. Because what happens very often is that if we are ridden with anxiety, or we have stomach issues, or we are not taking care of our bodies, then we misinterpret the signals that we get. We perhaps feel anxious about something, and we may say to ourselves, is it that I'm sensing that something bad is going to happen? When in reality, it could be that you had way too much coffee, or that you haven't slept well, or you haven't taken care of yourself. And so really important is to take care of that vessel and start making small steps to nourish your body by eating well, by understanding how your body works. For women, understanding their cycles and how they operate in each cycle. Even for men, I think that we all go through cycles like the seasons of the earth. We go through stages in which we feel at times more energized, and at times we feel more lethargic. So understanding your body and giving what your body needs it's crucial. So you're not misunderstanding signals. Eating healthy means eating healthy for you, not a prescribed diet or way of living that someone else designed for themselves that you are applying and thinking that that's going to work for you. Is understanding your body and saying, well, this person can eat meat, no problem, but when I eat meat, that doesn't set well in my stomach, or that doesn't feel good, or I can eat meat or whatever. So finding your specific way that your body feels supported and nourished, through exercise, breathing, sleeping, being in nature, walking barefoot, all of the things, stretching, all of the things that you need to really take care of this vessel, this thing that is carrying your energy, that is carrying your soul, that is allowing you to be in this world in a way that is good for you. So that is the first step. The second step is listening to your body. So once you are in tune with your body, once you know, okay, well, I'm hungry, let me go eat, or I'm thirsty, let me have something to drink, or I'm feeling moody, I haven't worked out, or whatever scenario it is. Once you start realizing, okay, I feel I fulfill my own needs, then your body can teach you how to sense things that perhaps you didn't understand you could. When you take care of yourself, then your body will give you signals when things are not right, or when something is right. And the signals could come in the sense of a little anxiety or hesitancy, like all of a sudden you just feel a little off in a situation, you're looking at the vibe and it doesn't resonate with you. That's a signal. Or it could be like, I don't know why, but I have to pursue this. I have to keep going. I have to go this way. I just feel it in me. I feel it in my body. So noticing the subtleties of energies and energy changes in your body is another way to tune into your intuition. You'll start noticing as you practice more and more and can discern between, is this my body telling me, hey, take care of yourself, or is this something that I'm perceiving? You'll start with practice. You'll start noticing more and more what is your intuition talking. When you are perceiving someone or being with someone, and all of a sudden you get a headache, or you have this thought in your mind that just popped out of nowhere. If you're not taking care of your body, you're not going to understand the signals. You're going to mistake in the signals. But if you are listening or taking care of your body, then your body can speak to you and you can listen to those messages and really understand, wait, I wasn't feeling that way before. I'm in tune with my body. And I know that this feeling, this headache, this sensation, goosebumps, whatever it is, it's not something I had before. Is there something here my intuition is telling me? So that's one way of connecting. So the third way is quieting the mind. We need to take time alone where we're not engaging in things, where we're not overthinking, where we're not consuming information, Netflix and social media or whatever else you're watching. It's important that we take time alone to tune in, because what happens is the brain is going to tell you a lot of things, and you have to learn how to differentiate between, is that my ego talking? Or is that my intuition talking? Is that information that I am picking up from the world? Is that something that I'm imagining? Or is it my intuition telling me something? And the best way to do that is practicing silencing the mind. So silencing the mind is like meditation, but you can always do it while you're walking. You can do it just sitting somewhere and just being quiet and trying not to think. I mean, it's hard not to think. You're thinking constantly. But the more you practice, the more you'll find that gap between the thoughts, like Deepak Chopra said. It's the gap between the thoughts. The way that I explain it sometimes is, I want you to imagine that we're meditating and I'm guiding you in the meditation. And your mind needs to focus on the silence between my words. So you're going to notice, your mind is going to notice when I pause, and is going to pay attention to the silence between each word. And the silence can be short in a small increment, or longer. So the idea is to train the mind to look for those moments of silence, and to stay longer and longer. Is sort of like the silence between the thoughts. Maybe not so much the words, but now it's the thoughts. When you're starting to meditate, is, can you look for that gap between the thoughts and make that gap bigger? So practicing that allows you to actually understand why the information that you're receiving from your brain is not necessarily so trustworthy, because you are imagining things, conjuring things based on your experience, based on the limited knowledge that you have. And it's not based on all of the information that is out there in the divine, in the cosmos, in the universe. And so when we silence the thoughts, when we silence the mind, then we can start tapping into more things that you never even thought could be in your mind. You start tapping into that when you silence the mind. It's like you start seeing things you didn't see before. The next one is trusting the gut feeling, right? It takes practice, of course. It doesn't come automatically where you all of a sudden just like, oh, I trust now, and my intuition is talking to me and I can do that. It comes in ways that are sometimes menial or not so, earth shattering. For example, you may be driving and you may be inclined to take an exit before yours, the regular exit. And that's your intuition saying like, hey, you should exit here. And it's an impulse. It came from nowhere. All of a sudden you have this thought, this image, and you trust it and you exit. And what you notice is that not long after, there is tremendous amount of traffic that just accumulated, and that you trust in your intuition sort of saved you that time, and it allow you to take an easier path. That's how intuition helps us. It helps us take an easier path. Things feel like they're flowing, and they feel so good when we're trusting. When we're not trusting and we're like, no, I'm going to stay here. I don't know why I was thinking that. Then we kind of make it harder for ourselves. So honing into your intuition takes practice, because you have to start incorporating those things in small ways in your daily routine, where you start noticing the changes in you. Maybe your gut feeling, maybe is you start to notice that when you hear something from someone, something sounds off, or you're feeling something in your body that doesn't feel right, or you are envisioning something that is telling you, that is giving you a message. So what I'm saying is that you can have different sensory modalities for perceiving information. For sort of like your radio antenna can pick up information from different channels. So your channel could be auditory, it could be sensory, it could be visual, or knowing. So you start trusting that, you start practicing like, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I have this need that I have to call so-and-so, and you call. And you do that, you take action. Once you're inspired, you take action. And those actions are going to show you little by little that the difference between, oh yeah, that was my intuition, or no, that was my mind. So you'll start to differentiate which one is your mind, which one is my intuition, when you start taking action on those things. So practicing, it's another one. And then the last one is letting go of the need to be right. Very often we want to nail it. We want to be spot on. And the moment that we start thinking that we have control over that, oops, my phone fell with my notes. The moment that we think that we have control over that, that's the moment when our ego is in charge, and not spirit, not our intuition. So we need to let go and release the need to be right. Maybe we need to say, you know what? I don't know, maybe I don't see anything. Maybe I'm going to turn into this exit and nothing is going to happen. Maybe traffic is fine or whatever, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if nothing happens. Trust that if you were guided to turn that way, there is a bigger reason that perhaps you're not seeing right at that moment, but maybe you'll see it later, or maybe you won't, but it was for your benefit. So it's okay. So trusting that and letting go of the need to have an outcome, to see the result, to be right, or to know why, and I want to give you some examples of this. I remember I was driving in Florida, and I was with my friend, and she was like, oh no, there's tons of traffic. They blocked this area. No, that's not how it happened. Sorry. It was that we missed the exit. That's what happened. We missed the exit. We were supposed to turn in Florida, Miami. It's like complicated, like just driving there. If you are from there, that it can be tricky to drive there. So I missed the exit. And my friend was like, oh no, we're going to be late, whatever. So I was like, you know what? There's a reason for that. I trust that was divine intervention. That was guidance telling me like, just, it's okay. I got you. And so we finally get back in the road. And when we approach towards the end, towards the beach area, an accident had happened maybe like 5 minutes before. And what that told me was that we were probably going to be in that accident if we hadn't detoured, because it was like 5 minutes right after. So I was so grateful for that. I could have complained, and maybe I did, I don't remember, but like, oh man. But the main point that I want to make here is that you trust, and you said, okay, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. And to me, that is a big reason, right? Sometimes when I am doing some sessions with clients, I offer to do kind of like an energy reading, intuitive reading. And what I start with, I do a few things, but one of the things that I do is I say, whatever shows up is for me to see. If I don't see something, then it's not for me to see. It's okay. And I might be wrong. So what I try to tell myself is, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay if you don't nail it. It's okay if you don't even know what you're talking about. It's okay. Because my ego and my mind want everything to be right. My ego and my mind don't want to disappoint people. They don't want to be criticized. They don't, all of the stuff that we sometimes tell ourselves, so we're not vulnerable and we are protecting ourselves. But at that moment, when I'm going to tune in into the person in front of me, I really try to calm my ego, for a moment. And I also release myself from responsibility. And in some ways, what I'm really doing is putting my ego aside, getting myself out of the way, and saying, okay, guidance, show me what is it that I need to see. Show me what is it that I need to know and share with this person in front of me. And so images come to my mind, feelings come to my body. And so I share that with the person in front of me. And at times I'm like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. My mind tells me that, like, that's ridiculous. Why would you even think that? Or like, that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, don't say that. And I share with people. I said, listen, my mind is telling me that this is ridiculous, that I shouldn't share it, but I'm going to share it anyway. So I acknowledge it, but I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to trust that if that information came to me, I'm just going to share it. And I might be wrong. I might mess up, and that's okay. But I promise you, every time is exactly right. It's exactly what I needed, what they needed to hear. And it matched exactly what they were experiencing. So acknowledging the ego and then stepping aside and letting guidance just show you, and trusting that, I think it's a great way to tune in into your own intuition. In daily life, I think it's important to allow yourself the space for the messages to come through. What that means is that if you have such a busy life, then you don't have space for intuition to come through, because you're just doing, or thinking, or feeding your mind with stuff without stopping. So making that space in your life to pause for just a second before you do something, just being mindful in everything that you do, I think that's really good if you want to listen to the intuition that is always trying to tap with you, or tune in to you. I think that God, the universe, guidance, it's always there speaking to us. And we are the ones that don't allow it in. We don't make room, we don't make space for that intuition to guide us. And the benefits of being guided by intuition is flow. Everything just flows so smoothly and so good that you start to think, like, why didn't I do this before? Everything just happens for you, and you feel such a sense of joy and connection. And that doesn't mean that your thoughts are not interrupting all the time. But what it means is that you are in such a moment of connection with the creator that it shows you the next steps so clearly for you, if you want to follow. So if you have any questions, I think that there's more that I could say about this in regards to maybe calming your mind, calming yourself, feeling safe. There's certain boundaries that I would create when we are exploring intuition that I would love to share with you maybe in a future podcast. So if you can send me your questions about this, I'll be very happy to answer them. And whatever experience you've had also, I'd love to hear about your experiences as well. So please share this with others that would benefit from hearing this, and also subscribe so you don't miss the episodes, and like it as well, or interact so this can be spread out to the world. Okay. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this amazing community of holistic beings. See you soon.